Hello, welcome to the grammar section. On this occasion, we're going to talk about passive sentences. In an active sentence, as you know, the subject is the person or thing that does the action. In a passive sentence, on the other hand, the subject of the verb is the person or thing affected by the action. The agent, that is, the person who does the action, can be unimportant, unknown, or very clear, depending on the type of sentence. Passive sentences are normally used to change the focus of interest on the information included. This is done by placing the object of the sentence at the beginning of that sentence. Now, how do we form the passive? Well, we use the verb to be in the appropriate verb tense and the past participle of the main verb of the sentence. With modal verbs such as must, can, or could, etc., it is formed with the modal verb plus the verb to be plus the past participle of the main verb. Let's see an example of the passive when we have a transitive verb. For example, the verb to buy. My brother bought the flight tickets. The flight tickets were bought by my brother. Okay, so there you can see that we have the verb to be, the tickets were, bought, which is the past participle of the verb to buy. Most transitive verbs can be used in the passive. However, some of these, for example, to like and to love, cannot be made passive in some particular cases. For example, if I say, I love the way you write letters. Okay, in this case, this sentence can't be made passive. An example of a transitive verb with both a direct and an indirect object is the following. Let's see with the verb to send. My boss sent an email to my best friend. Okay, an email, the direct object, to my best friend, which is the indirect object. Verbs with both a direct and an indirect object can be made passive in two different ways. Let's see these examples. An email was sent to my best friend by my boss. Okay, the agent is introduced by the expression, by the preposition by my boss. My best friend was sent an email by my boss. Okay, so we have two different ways of expressing the same idea there. Let's see an example with an intransitive verb. For example, to arrive. My cousin arrived late. This sentence can't be made passive. Now, passive sentences are also used in these cases when we want to make an impersonal statement. For example, smoking is not allowed at the airport. When the agent is unknown to us. My car has been stolen. I don't know who stole my car. My car has been stolen. When the agent is obvious, for example, all the terrorists were arrested. Obviously, we know that they were arrested by the police, so we don't have to specify this. When we want to say how something was done, for example, it was opened by using a knife. We can say it was opened with a knife. Okay? Now, with reporting verbs, such as to say, to believe, to understand, to know, we can use these verbs when we want to avoid the impersonal subject. For example, Victoria is said to live in Seattle. It is said that the new government is going to make some changes on legislation. Obama is believed to be traveling around Europe. We can use the expression to have or to get something done when someone or something for us, when somebody, does something for us, or when something is caused by an unspecified person. For example, I'll have a haircut tomorrow. Okay, somebody is going to cut my hair for me. Simon had his car stolen last month. The verb to get can also be used when we mean that we have done something difficult. Despite the lack of time, we got it done by the end of the night. Okay, so there you have the expression to get it done. This is when something needs doing. This is an idiomatic way to express that some form of action is necessary. For example, their house is filthy. It needs to be cleaned. Okay, some action has to be taken. That action is to clean the house. Their house is filthy. It needs cleaning. Okay. Now, note that when prepositions are used with a main verb in an active sentence, they remain when the sentence is made passive. For example, workers shouted at the boss during that awful meeting. The boss was shouted at during that awful meeting. Also note that the verb to make is followed by the preposition to in the passive. For example, they made me write the whole report. In the passive, I was made to write the whole report. And that's all for the time being. So thank you very much and bye-bye.